So, you're making one of the biggest financial decisions of your life, getting a mortgage. And now, artificial intelligence is jumping into the mix. But the big question is, can we actually trust it? Let's dive in.
And yeah, that really is the question, isn't it? We're not talking about asking AI to, write a funny poem or create a weird picture. We're talking about trusting it with hundreds of thousands of dollars and the keys to your new home. So, is it really ready for that kind of responsibility?
40 days. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the average time it takes to close on a mortgage. That's over a month of endless paperwork, back and forth verifications, and just waiting. It's slow, it's expensive, and honestly, it's incredibly stressful.
And that 40-day nightmare? That is exactly why lenders are looking at AI like it's some kind of silver bullet. They are desperate to automate the whole process and speed things up. But here's the catch. Just plugging in any old AI you can find, well, that can be a recipe for absolute disaster.
This really gets to the heart of the issue. On one hand, you have these incredibly powerful do-it-all AIs that feel like they can do anything. And on the other hand, you have these super specialized AIs, trained to do just one job really, really well. So which one do you literally bet the house on?
Well, to answer that exact question, mortgage tech company Tidalwave teamed up with researchers from Columbia University. They decided to set up a proper showdown, a rigorous head-to-head competition, to see which kind of AI could really handle the pressure of the mortgage process.
So, in one corner, we have the specialist, Tidalwave's solo agent. This AI lives and breathes mortgage data. That's all it knows. And in the other corner, we have the generalist, Claude 4.5, one of the most powerful and versatile language models on the planet. It's the classic specialist versus generalist fight.
And look, this was not some simple pop quiz. No way. They threw the kitchen sink at these AIs. We're talking 10 complete synthetic loan applications packed with months of real-world bank data. Then, the AIs had to answer 90 tough questions that loan officers wrestle with every single day. Their performance was scored using what's called an F1 score, which means the results are rock solid.
Okay, so after putting both AIs through this intense gauntlet, how'd they do? Well, the results were fascinating, and in one key area, frankly, a little bit terrifying.
So looking at the overall accuracy, the specialist AI, Tidalwave Solo, came out on top with 84%. The generalist, Claude 4.5, landed at 71%. A clear win for the specialist for sure, but maybe not the total knockout you'd expect. But wait, that's definitely not the whole story.
Because when it came to compliance checks, the absolute must-get-right questions about spotting fraud, undisclosed debt, or suspicious activity, the difference was just staggering. The specialist, Solo, scored a 95%. The generalist, Claude, scored just 42%. It got more of these critical compliance questions wrong than it got right.
And a number like that isn't just a bad grade, it has huge real-world consequences. As Tidalwave's CEO Diane Yu put it, a failure rate like that is a massive red flag. If an AI misses a payroll mismatch or just hallucinates the deposit, a human has to go back and double-check everything, which, completely defeats the entire purpose of automation.
Now, to be fair, the generalist AI wasn't a total wash. In one category, account verification, Claude 4.5 actually beat the specialist model 86% to 67%. And that's important, because it shows the study wasn't biased. It was about finding the nuanced truth. But why the huge difference? Well, that gets into how these AIs actually think. So why was there such a dramatic difference in performance? It all comes down to two key things: what they were trained on, and just as important, what they're designed to protect. First, it's about structure. The generalist AI Claude reads a loan file the same way it reads a Wikipedia article, as a giant block of text. The specialist, Solo, though, was trained on structured mortgage data. It understands that a number in one box is a salary, and a number in another is a loan amount. It actually speaks the language of mortgages.
The other crucial difference is privacy, and this is a big one. The specialist AI, Solo, is designed to strip out all your personally identifiable information, your name, address, social security number, all of it, before it processes anything. The generalist model just uses that PII. Now, that might help its accuracy in some narrow areas, but in a regulated industry like finance, it's a massive privacy violation waiting to happen.
So what's the big takeaway from this AI showdown? It's about more than just which bot is better at mortgages. It's really about setting a standard.
And this gets to the wider goal. Professor Zhao Yu from Columbia University hopes this benchmark becomes a model for testing AI in other critical fields, think law, medicine, or insurance. If you're going to trust an AI with something important, you need to be able to prove publicly that it actually works.
Which leaves us with this final thought. As AI becomes more and more integrated into our lives, especially in these high-stakes areas, the trust me it works approach just isn't going to cut it. Studies like this show that specialization matters and that transparent, public proof of performance might be the only way forward. The real question is, are we ready to demand it?